Hello, potato. We are out of the Voidspace because it's spring now. It's the time of the year where we start to do more things outside, out of the safety of the Voidspace and out in the nasty, awful sun. And today, to kind of kick off outdoor season, we are at the grounds in Roseville for SacAnime. As you can see, there's the building in the Royal Bobblein Center, and it is just open. It's like just past noon. The con is just opened for the weekend. It is SacAnime Spring / SacAnime Roseville. It is unclear still which is the actual name. I think on the ticket it says SacAnime Roseville and then in parentheses Spring, but like the wristbands say SacAnime Roseville on them, but other things do say SacAnime Spring. I guess it's interchangeable. So we just got here. Of course, spring is a smaller show than winter or summer. The At the Grounds is a kind of smaller venue, but you have some unique things there, pluses and minuses. The plus being that you do have plenty of parking, and it is, depending on where you choose to park, cheaper. Downtown, there are some lots that are cheaper than others. They do seem to have raised the price, though, this year. It was $15 to park. I think it was $10 last year. So I'm guessing that is a At the Grounds thing, not a SacAnime thing. I doubt they get any of the parking money. But looking around just outside, we do seem to have some new food options. The ones that are always here are no longer here. That one that has like the Java ice and the corn dogs, if they're not here. We do have, of course, Why Not Boba, which I think we're missing from the winter show. We have a coffee place, which we will probably have tried at some point, because, of course, the minuses of being here is that there are literally no places in walking distance to eat. I mean, if you want to walk a half mile, there's a Burger King and like a Taco Bell, but it's literally a half mile. But also, if you want to park for free, you can park down there too. But we do have new places. We have Bubble Hive. We've actually had them before. I don't remember if it was in a video. It may have been on an old SacAnime. Might have been like in the SacAnime Winter 2020 video. Wingman, we've got a couple of those. We'll go check them out later. I do see a Drewski's down there. We do have Taiyaki Loving Cooks. We will have to check them out at some point. And then, like I said, we'll have to get the coffee. We do have one thing they don't tend to have always at the winter and summer is the foam fighting exhibition. We do have that this year. And since it is, as you can see, no chance of rain, they are doing it outdoors this year. So we may check that a little bit later as well. But for now, let's go wristbands up and head on into the vendors hall and do, what you do at a convention, which is look at the vendors hall.
Wristband? Perfect.
Thank you.
Gifts? I like it.
We got a little flyer this year. And then inside, if you were VIP, of course, you get extra goodies. You get a bag. But we don't do that. Looks like we have some information on upcoming events here at the grounds. And let's say that we're letting people into the sitting area here ahead of time. So it's all emptied out. We have a little snack bar available. But let's head on into the vendors hall and see who there is to see this year. Guessing it'll be a lot of the stuff that usually is, but that's not a bad thing. Always one of the cooler things at SacAnime is the Odin Makes booth. They do like cosplay repair, but also they always show off some really cool things. We've got, let's see, we have a Peacemaker helmet. I think it might be is that Footman, or is that a Footman rather? Or is that, what's his name from Marvel, the bad guy, I don't remember the name. We do have Tech's helmet. We have Lando's helmet. We have, of course, the big giant Mechagodzilla. Always cool stuff at Odin Makes.
It's getting a little heavy. I'll do one more.
I got straps. Not now.
I'll take it 5. That's good enough.
So I think that's the first. There's always that one booth that doesn't make sense, like life insurance or vegetable of the week kind of thing. But I think it's the first time we've had the Army recruiting at a SacAnime. I wonder if this bag is bigger on the inside. One of the regular things that they generally have at SacAnime is this lovely droid booth. We do have some new droids, looks like, this year. Of course, we've got the Minion pit droid, we've got Chopper, we have the pit droid with the lightsaber through its head. But I don't recall previously seeing one of the security droids. I think that's probably specifically K2SO from Andor and Rogue One. And I definitely feel like I'd remember if they'd previously had a droideca. Doesn't look like it's articulated or anything, but that's still a life-size droideca. It's pretty darn cool. Also, kind of makes you think of the Guildmaster for the bounty hunting game at Galaxy's Edge is just the eyes in this little crate here. It does say not to touch it. I'm guessing probably because he'll bite. So probably not, 'cause I'm guessing it's not the Guildmaster. We have some lovely builds over here this year. And what did you see? Oh, we do have Babu Frick, or at least one of his people, I think, down here under the mouse droid. Always cool. Of course, also got to love a Gonk droid. If you're interested in seeing more stuff about their builds, we do have their socials here at R2SC, at NorCal Chopper, and at Sindirico Cosplays. That's not right. Sindiru Cosplays. I had an extra co in there.
I picked the costume one out right now. I'm gonna end up switching it eventually.
We just found that Kobold's Keep is here. That, of course, is a booth that I used to stop at, usually at Winter and Summer. I don't think they're normally at Spring, but here we are. And I literally just like dropped half the money I have for today at their booth. So we do have some stuff to look at in the haul portion of this video at the end. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a blind bag this time, because it does just kind of feel like over the last few years, those have been getting more and more disappointing. So, plus, I don't really collect statues, so I don't know why I kept buying them. But, yeah, we may skip that this year and just stick to maybe some dice blind bags. Well, that Bowser's pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm looking for any particular custom minifigs just now. One interesting thing so far, we're about halfway through the vendors hall. It's a little bit of a smaller vendors hall than Winter or Summer. And I've seen like 3 booths so far selling like knockoff Lego minifigures. It's, I guess they're becoming more popular. Is Lego on an upswing? Because, you know, I've always been into Lego, so I don't know if I've necessarily noticed it going up or down. Here's another booth I always hit, which is I don't think it's also usually at the Spring Show, which is Terran Empire Publishing. So I guess I'm going to buy some more dice.
After that time, that's when I came back to
We've almost finished our initial walkthrough of the vendors hall, and my statement about maybe not buying a blind bag, that may not matter, because I've actually not really noticed many booths selling them this time. The booths I normally would get them from either aren't here or aren't selling them, so maybe I'm not the only one that's kind of burnt out on the blind bag grind. Shark Robot's booth is different this year. They don't have their big wooden booth. Do they have any new shirts, though? Let's Start a Cult is cute, but I don't think it's new. We bought Social Interactions last time. I think I have the I Hate Everyone Equally already. I'd have to look back through the old videos, or I guess I could actually just look in the closet, couldn't I? I can do neither really from here. Nothing's leaping out. And nothing's jumping out at me this time as a must get. Ooh, that Star Wars poncho is kind of cool. They actually sell these at the flea market. I went to the flea market recently and they have some of these. More of the Disney, like Sanrio ones, less of the anime ones. But that Star Wars one's pretty cool. Of course, gotta have a Rick and Morty something. Got Death Note, and of course One Piece. Yeah, the Star Wars one's kind of nice. They feel like surprisingly soft. I do want that ATTE, but Not for 150, not from here. But I do usually end up picking up a Lego something. Oh, we have that's like the original Avengers Advent calendar from the Avengers Office Party year, which was surprisingly controversial. Some people really didn't like that one. I liked it just fine. That was fun. Got some new minifigures for my my village that way. The 3-in-1 camper that's kind of tempting. I do have that one, but to do like the other RV build for it would be neat. The Adjudicator? Or Justifier, I think it's called. We do have that. We got that at when we went to Disneyland. We got that at the Lego store in Disneyland back in 22. So we do have that one. Because that is Cad Bane's ship. I think may have been the first one that I think came with Alpha.
I don't see that one.
No, we had a bet going. So we went to Target the other night and noticed that they had put the Yoda Starfighter kit down from like $30 on sale to like clearance out to $8, and of course they were naturally all gone. And my guess was that we would see them here at that booth, and I was wrong. I can admit when I was wrong. So yeah, no, definitely not doing a blind bag, because not just because I'm kind of burnt on them, but I guess they're kind of burnt on selling them too, because the booths that normally would have them don't seem to have them. We've going to walk through it. We were debating whether or not it felt like there was more booths here or not, but I think they may just be spread out a little bit more. There's more pass-throughs in between the aisles, kind of like what they've been doing with winter and summer, where they've been kind of doing them like little clusters. We're getting that without the clusters, but I think we're getting more pass-throughs, probably to cut down on choke points. But yeah, I don't know if there's more vendors or if they're just spread out a little bit more evenly. But you know, a fun little show to walk through. Now that's the thing. Tickets for the next show are $40. I want to say when we bought the summer tickets back at the winter show, they were $35. So I wonder if that means that pre-buying is going to go up again, because it just went up last year to $35 from I think $25. So I wonder if they've gone up again, or if it's just because we're closer to the show now and that maybe more accurately reflects what they're selling online. But spoiler, if you do watch all the way to the end of the video and watch the haul portion, it's going to be a lot of dice blind bags. It's probably going to be the most what it is dice blind bags.
Something mean to me. Oh, yeah. So, you know, those like tall tapestries that are the one that fell off.
Having given a walk around the vendor hall, let's check out what's outside. See what our food options are today.
I'm a food vendor. I'm just using the bathroom.
In the past, the food options have not always been great. I mean, Taiyaki Living Cooks is always good. But otherwise, there are some vendors, I guess, that were kind of attached to the fairgrounds. But this shows that those vendors are gone. And we have pretty much all food trucks, which could be a good thing. We have like snow cones, wings, bubble hunting, and we've had them before. I'm pretty sure it was SacAnime Winter 2020 we tried them. Might have been a fair though, but I feel like I've had the buffalo cone before. Got street tacos. And then, of course, we have Taiyaki Loving Cooks. We have this year Oreo, Nutella, red bean, grilled cheese, pepperoni. And they have a handcrafted melon soda. Probably stop by here later and get one of those. Big City Bites. Looks like burgers, hot dogs, chicken, and nachos. Got funnel cakes. That is not a normal thing to have here. That's cool. Also, chicken and fries. Dippin' Dots, Ice Cream of the Future. And Hefty Gyro, always one of my favorites, because I love the hefty fries. Yeah, no, I thought from a distance, I thought that one of these was going to be a Drewski's truck, but yeah, we didn't get a Drewski's this time. They're normally like the Monopoly at downtown. We have like 2 or 3 kinds of Drewski's there. Let's go check out that coffee place. Tribu Cafe del Sur is the name of the coffee place. We have a lavender matcha, coconut latte, pumpkin spice, of course, not time of year for it, but hey, why not Lotus Energy? That could be interesting. Spiced brown sugar. I feel like there's a very good chance we'll be getting something from here at some point. Peppermint mochas, raspberry white, Irish cream, matcha lemonade, double Dubai chocolate matcha. Yeah, looks like some interesting options here. So we did pick up a pair of drinks from Tribu Cafe del Sur. My wife picked out a raspberry mocha, raspberry white mocha, and I decided to try the coconut latte because it sounded interesting. They had a Dubai chocolate matcha. It sounded kind of interesting, but I've never actually had Dubai chocolate, and probably should have actual chocolate before trying a thing flavored like it, because how would I know if it tastes like it or not? So I think we didn't grab any stirs, so we'll give these a little shake. Try to get these mixed up. They are nice and separated to start with. Kind of integrate. I still got a layer of white at the bottom, but I'll give it a try and see what they think. Interesting. It tastes kind of like if you put a Mounds bar into coffee, which I suppose is what one should expect it to taste like, right? I mean, it's coconut flavoring and espresso.
Probably some vanilla.
We'll try it. They were using, I think, Monin syrups. I'll give yours a try.
Not bad.
Very raspberry. Yeah, pretty good. So Tribu Cafe del Sur. Gonna caffeinate. Not quite hungry yet, but I don't know, maybe we'll get a snack or something. And then see what else there is to do while we are here. As there are legitimately very few opportunities to get taiyaki around here, we will of course come over here to taiyaki loving cooks and grab ourselves some taiyaki just for a little snack to go with our coffee. So after a bit of a wait at Taiyaki Loving Cooks, I mean, they are making them fresh while you wait. I've got our taiyaki. It was basically buy 2 get a third free, so I picked up 3 different ones. We have Oreo. I think that's the Oreo one. We have Nutella. And then one I don't remember trying before, which is apple pie. I was going to go for grilled cheese because I know I like that one, but apple pie, that sounded new and interesting. So let's give these a try. We'll start off with our Oreo. I mean, I have no expectation that they won't be as good as they are every year. So, bring it out of the bag. They are kind of sticking in the bottom. I don't want to rip it because I want to get the that full taiyaki experience. Here we go. Here's our. Looks better on that side. Here's our Oreo taiyaki. Let's bite its eyeball out. Nice. Kind of a little pancake Oreo thing going on there. And of course, like one Oreo fits perfectly inside the mold they're using. We actually have a taiyaki pan somewhere. I mean, the one they're using is like self-heating. Ours is like you just put it over the stove. But one of these have to try making our own taiyaki. Try making weird taiyakis. You can put like instant noodles inside taiyaki. Probably wouldn't be very good, but I mean, it'd be content. So this would be our Nutella. Nutella's kind of bleeding through on this one a little bit. bite its eye off. There's a lot of Nutella in there.
I'm surprised it didn't burst.
Well, that's why it's kind of weeping through. Yeah, they're being generous with the fillings right now. Who knows, but by the Sunday, they may not be. And then our wild card, our apple pie. They don't have a special stamp for apple pie. I'm wondering if it's a newer flavor. It's not even on the main sign, it's like on one of the side signs. Because one thing, like in previous years, they've usually had like one special one. This one's on one of the printed signs, but not on the main sign. So this one should be full of apple pie. And now for $1 extra, I could have gotten some caramel sauce to dip it in, but for $1 extra, I decided we'll just go with the good old apple pie filling. Oh, that was incredibly hot.
Big sweet coffee.
I just burnt my mouth.
Oh.
It's not bad though. It's not overly sweet. I kind of was expecting it to be like have a really sweet flavor, and it's actually fairly mild. It's just like apple pie filling. I just expected like a more sugary apple pie filling than it ended up being.
An American style.
Yeah, again, I've talked about in many videos, the American palate, I expect everything to be like just full of high fructose corn syrup. So what do you think? Which your favorite one?
Actually, I think I like the apple pie.
The apple pie? I mean, the apple pie is the least sweet of the three. Because there's like a lot of, I would actually, I think, maybe put less Nutella personally.
Yeah.
If I were making, I think I might put a little bit less Nutella. Just because Nutella's a very strong flavor. A little bit kind of goes a long way with that.
I mean, they're all good, but
Yeah, the apple pie is nice. It could do with maybe a little more apple pie spice to it. I mean, I'm sure they're just using like a canned filling,
that
but
could it be discriminatory because you burned your mouth?
that also possibly I may not have tasted the full gamut of flavor as the taste buds on my tongue were seared into non-existence. But again, hey, it's a good thing that they were made fresh, right?
Yep.
I mean, at least it wasn't like cold and sitting there for half an hour. So I think definitely give it to the apple pie for novelty, just because we haven't had that one before. I feel like I'd remember that, especially if I ate it like when it was too hot still.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Nutella personally. You know what they really should do? They should do a peanut butter one. I would absolutely buy a peanut butter taiyaki. Maybe if I ever get around to doing a taiyaki video, despite the fact this isn't a cooking channel, maybe we'll try peanut butter. Anyways, we're going to enjoy our snack, and I think there's not a lot of panels today. There was a Pokemon panel, we've already missed that one, or rather it's on right now. And then there's a Big City Greens panel a little bit, and then later on there's a Janet Varney panel. And I don't know, might check out Big City Greens. I haven't watched a ton of that, but might go check that out, because otherwise there really isn't a heck of a lot else to do there. There is the gaming room. You can go play some board games or trading card games. But yeah, there's not a ton to. I suppose you could walk back over to Cobalt's Keep, buy a board game, and take it to the board game room and play it, but probably not. So with our snack, maybe go to a panel, maybe take one more swing around the vendors hall, and call day one a day. That's going to be a shorter video than normal for SacAnime. But our food's getting cold. Let's go ahead and eat it. For some reason, just off to the side of the area where we were eating at by the stage, there's this like decoy wolf. Don't know why it's here, but I have to see it, and now so do you. We're going to head now to the Big City Greens panel. I didn't know Artemis Pebdani from Always Sunny in Philadelphia was in that show. I've watched the show a few times, but didn't know she was in it. One of the guests did, I think the guest who voices Pearl, I think it was Pearl, she canceled. Let's look up also. There's no video in here, so we'll see you a little bit later. We just left the panel for Big City Greens. It was Tilly, not Pearl. Of course, if you watch Big City Greens, I'm sure you already ready to comment. The character's name is Tilly, not Pearl. Yeah, Tilly is who I meant. She was supposed to be here, and she was not. So we had the voices, though, of Bill and Grandma, and that was fun. Also, got a question. The question I had, and somebody did, the MC asked it. Why is Artemis Pebdani's character on Always Sunny called Artemis? And the answer was essentially because they couldn't be bothered to think of other names, hence the fact that Charlie Day is Charlie and Rob McElhenney is Mac, which makes perfect sense. So, being this is Friday, and as it's a smaller convention, there's not too much really to do. So I'm going to take like one more cruise around the vendor hall, and then probably call that it for day one, especially because I kind of already spent all my money on dice blind bags. Literally, like, the entire hall portion of this video is going to be dice blind bags. But yeah, let's walk around a little bit and just enjoy the environment of the calmest day of SacAnime Spring. I do not need another Deadpool figure, but this one has Headpool. I actually have a Headpool. It's the classic Headpool. I have the Headpool that came with my original 12-inch Wolverine. I do not need another Deadpool figure. As usual, tons of cosplay weapons, but no shovel. One of these days, gonna find a good cosplay shovel for my Haunted Mansion cosplay. But it looks like today is not that day. So I've been proven wrong. They do have a cosplay shovel. It's actually metal too. But this doesn't work for my needs, but it's an improvement. It's the first time I've seen a shovel. So maybe by summer we can get one that looks like a proper shovel and doesn't have like a what. Oh, you know, that's Shovel Knight, isn't it? That's from Shovel Knight. That's what that is. That's why it has a hand guard on a shovel like that. Sword in the Stone and Prince in the Pauper.
Cool. That would be one to get.
$85. That would be one to get. I think I had this one when I was a kid,
Oh, really?
or at least a version of it. The Love Bug,
Yeah, I saw that one over here.
30.
Thumper's Great Race.
Adventures of Little Hiawatha,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
only 30. I would kind of think that one would be a little bit more now. Robin Hood, but not that Robin Hood. And then the really fancy one's the picture discs.
Yeah.
$90. I had, as a child, I had the, there was a Star Wars picture disc. Mickey
Oh,
Disco.
there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, but that's framed. You couldn't play it. But I had a Disney, or not Disney, a Star Wars picture disc that had, I think, Wicket on one side because it had like an Ewok story, and the other side it had, I think it was C-3PO and R2 because it had a droid story. I think it came out, it wasn't directly connected to the cartoon series, but I think it came out around the time of droids and Ewoks. Scandalous John. I thought it was pirates for a second until you pulled it up all the way. I thought it was a pirate hat.
Question. That's a smaller question.
Alright guys, see you later.
Given just the reality that SacAnime Spring or SacAnime Roseville, whichever you want to call it, is a smaller show than Winter or Summer, and there's not as much stuff to do around here. There's like nothing you can just walk to like normally for SacAnime. We'd go over to Starbucks and take a rest for a while, or go walk around the Capitol, or go check out the Sacramento Cathedral, and then come back and do the show some more. It's just a smaller show. There's less to do, and I think we're gonna call it for day one. We took in a panel, we had some taiyaki, we tried a new coffee place, which we might check them out again tomorrow for day two. And unusually, I actually spent like all the money I brought with me, mostly on dice. But that was a good time. Saw some good cosplays. Didn't really like stop anybody this time like I normally do, and no potato montage sort of thing. But it was a good time for a smaller show. Good way to spend a few hours in the afternoon. But yeah, we're gonna take off for today. But tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow's the bigger day. SacAnime Saturdays are always bigger than Fridays. And we'll come back tomorrow with hopefully some more money and see some more panels, see some more great cosplays, and just enjoy the geeky, pop culturally, anime, video gamey vibe of SacAnime. So for you, it'll be just moments. There'll be a little swirly thing, and we'll be tomorrow. For me, gonna go home, maybe have an early dinner, maybe watch some anime, and we'll come back tomorrow. We'll do it again. So I will see you momentarily. Hello, Potato, and welcome to day number 2 of SacAnime Spring / SacAnime Roseville 2025. We're back here at the grounds. As you can see, it's a little busier than we got here yesterday. It's about the same time. It's a little bit, maybe 10-15 minutes later than we got here yesterday. The convention's been open for, I think, about an hour. I think it opened at 11, at least. I think that's when the first panel was. And I see it's definitely busier than yesterday. I mean, not a ton. I don't think the show's ever going to be as big as winter and summer are currently, just because of the location, because of the kind of lack of things to do around it, because it's on Easter weekend, which I think that does pull some people out because, you know, they have to travel and do family stuff. And I think it's also Passover this year, so do those always fall together? I don't know. It's my void of intelligence kicking up again. But again, that's family stuff. Religious obligations can keep people from being able to come out and attend. But we just have a good selection of food trucks here. We have a lot of people here. I heard that Artemis Pebdani from Big City Greens is not going to be here today. I'm glad we got to site here yesterday. Because now that's like 2/3 of the Big City Greens people gone. I hope they didn't actually have any more panels for the two of them. I hope it's, she said she wasn't feeling well, I guess. It's health reasons. So I hope she's feeling better. By the time this video comes out, she almost certainly would be, and not that she's ever going to see it. But I hope she's feeling better, and I really hope it wasn't. The panel yesterday was not super well attended. Again, it wasn't that busy yesterday. You saw in the video, it just wasn't that busy here yesterday. So there were not a ton of people on the panel. They did not manage to fill up the question line. I feel like they would have gotten a better turnout today, but that's why they only had like 3 panels yesterday. And yeah, that's of course, like, that is the issue with at the grounds. There's nothing to do around it. There's no places to go and eat. There's no places to go and hang out. And even though there is room here, they could do other stuff. There's just the one panel room. You know, they could do stuff because they used to. The first year they had SacAnime Roseville or Anime Roseville or Roseville Anime, whatever they called it back then. They did actually use the garden room there, also used as the voting room at election time for a panel. I remember seeing Jeremy Lee in there. So I don't know why they don't turn that into another panel room, a smaller room, a fan panel room, a viewing room. Viewing room would be really nice. That's still the biggest thing missing. Actually, no. Actually, at this point, it's the second biggest thing. The biggest thing missing is that there are no fan panels at this one. And that to me is really where I get my enjoyment and my time sink for SacAnime is going to those awesome fan panels. But we're here. I don't know if we're going to spend a huge ton of time today. I don't remember. I think the panels are all things I don't watch, like Demon Slayer, which I'm not, it's a super popular show, but I don't watch Demon Slayer. I don't watch Naruto. These are, there's no Dan this time or anything that I'm particularly into. So I don't know if we need any panels. We may just kind of walk around, see what new booths are here, because I know there were some empty ones in there yesterday, and maybe just call it a day and just kind of rest up. Got Easter tomorrow. Got stuff to do for that. But yeah, for now, let's head on into the vendors hall and see what... I think we did the bulk of our buying yesterday. I did eventually see there were a couple booths that did have the more traditional blind bags. But yeah, we're not doing that this time unless it's something like really, gets my attention. I'm gonna stick with my like 7 sets of dice that I bought yesterday, and we'll look at the end of this in the haul portion. You can tell it's still early in the day because this room's not full of people just like camping out on the floor. This room will get filled up more. Well, it's definitely busier in here than yesterday. I don't think we're at any risk of like traffic jams, but there are definitely more people to maneuver around.
I do this all myself. I'm not a pro in Utah, but I do a lot of fun stuff.
Is it 10? 3 for 25. So if we see 3 that way. All right.
So, you know, so like a lot of my friends who were the first time, you know, watching anime,
Oh, so what, 20 seconds?
I brought so many.
So you remember in the first half of this video, the day one portion, we found that wolf sitting next to the stage area. Apparently somebody else found it too and brought it in here. It's now in the Lost and Found. If you lost that wolf, this is where it is. So there's really no two ways about it. This is just, it's a smaller show, and I don't know, maybe not a whole weekend event. I did look at the panels for rest of the day, and it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, Todd Habercorn is interesting. I've seen him before. Seems like a good guy, but I don't know, I'm just not going to stay for that. And there is no musical event tonight. I mean, obviously I should have figured that out when there were tables and chairs set up in front of the stage yesterday, and indeed last year I don't believe there was a musical guest on the Friday or Saturday night last year. They just had the AMV contest. And also just like first time I noticed, even though the stage has been there for years, that they just built the new stage in front of the old stage. It's still there. I guess because it's power boxes and stuff, probably would have been more trouble to knock it down than to leave it there. But anyways, yeah, we're kind of done. There's no panels we want to go to. We've seen the inside. I mean, we could go maybe and play a board game in the board gaming room, but I don't know, just not. And maybe it's just me. Just not feeling as into it this year as I have in past years. And there are some, there are legitimate better things this year. Like there's certainly better food offerings than in past years, but yeah, it's just not enough to do. And there's nowhere like to go to take a break from it. Like, again, we went to look at the state Christmas tree last time at the Winter show. There's none of that to do here. So I do think we did buy a couple more things. We each bought a couple things. So I think we're going to head back now to the Voidspace and just kind of wrap this up early. There's just not a ton else here to do. I mean, I could look around and like look for cosplayers and bug them for video, but I'm not feeling like doing that this time, I don't mean to sound like I'm being down on the convention by any means. No, I'm enjoying myself. It's just not it's not as all-encompassing to me as it has been in the past, or as winter and summer are. So it was nice to have it to break up that big, huge, long gap between winter and summer. There's like a 9-month gap there, and it's nice to have this in between it. But I think we've run its course for us for this year. If there's a Silicon next year, we'll definitely be back, check it out again, and see what's become of it. But for now, I think we're going to wrap this up, head back to the Voidspace, and we'll do the haul portion of this. This may be a SacAnime video that's not 2 hours long, so I will see you momentarily back in the Voidspace.
Can you, I'm pretty sure I turned down and the piece of friend. You know this.
You're already abandoned us.
And here we are back in the temperature-controlled solitude of the Voidspace to do our haul portion of the video. Now, if you're wondering why I'm still wearing my wristband, I haven't taken it off yet. There is technically still a day 3 to this. I don't expect to get to go to it. And honestly, I don't necessarily know that we're going to want to, even if we do have the time to do it. Just because, yeah, this year just felt like there was less stuff to do than in past years. And there really wasn't. I mean, I think it's that the day 2 panels were like nothing I was interested in. And without there being any other panels, without there being any viewing room, or even the video game room isn't there this year, there just wasn't a lot to stay for unless you really want to just like hang out and like observe cosplayers and stuff, which is certainly a thing people do. And I'm not going to say you shouldn't do that, but it just wasn't up to it this time around. Also, the red-green costume is a warm costume, and it was like edging up towards 80, which is about the limit of what that costume can really tolerate. I am still puzzled by how some of you can wear those big full body costumes and coats and masks and stuff in the 100 and blank degree heat of SacAnime summer, but you do, and you look good doing it. Can't feel good doing it, but you look good doing it. So we're on to the haul portion of the video. Yeah, I didn't do a potato montage this time. I didn't ask anybody. Nobody said no to me. I just didn't ask anybody. And honestly, I just didn't feel like asking that many cosplayers to stop and pose. Well, I think we have those Attack on Titan group, which was really good. But other than that, I don't think I actually stopped and asked for anybody to, pose. But there are plenty of people like, I caught as we walked through the vendors hall and stuff. So there's still lots of great cosplays on display. It's not that they weren't great cosplays, it's just I wasn't asking people to stop. But now that we are back here in the Voidspace, it's time to do the haul. Now, first off, no big blind bag. I said I wasn't going to buy one. Well, I said at the beginning I was thinking of not buying one, and then I said that there weren't any, and then I found out that was a lie. There were some. The booths that I normally buy from weren't there, but there were some that were, and I just decided not to pull the trigger on that this year just because I'm getting a collection of statues from shows I don't watch, and I don't need those. I don't need those in my life. So we decided to just focus on dice, which I don't really need in my life either, but we do have a bunch of dice blind bags to look at. Well, I mean, we have 3, but there's a bunch of dice in them. So let's get started. Let's start at the beginning. Not in chronological order, because that would start us with, the dice. We're going to just kind of go with whatever feels right. And this is something I picked up at the end of day 1 here. This should look somewhat familiar, if smaller. This is from, I think they're called Hang It Up. I don't know, did you put a card in here? I don't think you put a card in here. That's no good. I think it was Hang It Up wall art. I've bought stuff from him before. I've actually bought a very similar item to this before. And he does those really cool glossy wall signs. I'm sure there's some footage of it in the video somewhere. And then the other half of the booth is like freeze-dried candy, which we also bought some. That's not going to be in the video. It was a Big Hunk. We've done Big Hunk in a video before. I don't know if it was a SacAnime or if it was State Fair or County Fair, but I think we might have done Big Hunk at the State Fair last year. But yeah, we've done Big Hunk before. It was good. So yeah, I got I guess that's one way to use your tissue paper to the maximum is use the packaging from it as well. I picked up, I think it's called the Hang It Up Art, a new Lego sign. So it's a smaller Lego sign. See, because they didn't have this size when I bought my original one, which is honestly kind of prohibitively large on the table. It kind of takes up that entire space where the program for SacAnime is. And I thought, I could more easily do stuff with the logo on the table if I got a smaller logo. He does sign them. But yeah, I think it was Hang It Up Art. There's some really cute stuff too. They had I think they had them last year too, but I really took more of a notice of them. I don't think I recorded them though. They have melted ice cream signs. I saw Batman, Sonic, and SpongeBob. Remember those? I mean, maybe you don't. Those character ice creams you can buy in the ice cream truck. that on the picture look like a perfect SpongeBob, but when you get them, like the eyes are all drooping. Yeah, it's that sort of a thing. They look really nice. Also, he seems to be getting more into business logos. Like I saw Blockbuster Video and a few others. I don't remember what they were now. And again, I don't know if there's any video of them, but if there is, you may have already seen it. But yeah, I love their stuff. It's this was $40, which I think is honestly not that much less than I spent on the like 4 times larger sign that I already have. But that was a few years ago, and of course, things do cost more now. So yeah, this will probably be the Lego logo I use going forward in Lego videos, because it just doesn't take up as much space on the table. I have room. Maybe put the box or something there instead if the box isn't too big. It's very nice. It does, I mean, I think it looks official. I think that does look box accurate. And you see, I think he said he hand paints them all and carves them, and good stuff. It's good work there. I do wish he'd included a card, but oh well. Next is something from another vendor that also didn't include a card, I believe, and didn't actually have any signage on their booth because I looked because I wanted to reference them in the video, and that is this. It is a glass quill set. Yes, last year we did buy a glass quill from the same vendor. I don't remember if they had a name last year, but they had other stuff too. They had like more leather stuff last year. This year it was just just the guy by himself. Last year there was like 2 people at that booth, and it was like kind of all of the quill stuff. And we got the build your own quill box. Comes in this little like laser cut box. This one has a rose on it. They had a few different designs. They had like a dragon and the tree of life and I think a sun. Yeah, my wife picked out this one. And with it for $30, you get to pick out a box. You get a quill, if I can get it out without breaking anything. So last year, we did just pick up the basic quill set, which was just the quill and ink and the little rest for it. This year, the basic quill set, I think it was 20, came with a smaller wooden box. Yeah, she picked out this one because last year she did pick up the dark blue quill. This year, she picked up a lighter blue quill because, as you can probably already see, it matches that. Also came with a little pen. I don't know. I'm not sure what. Yeah, it's just a little. I guess if you don't want to like write in your journal with the quill, you can write in it with that. A bottle of ink. The gentleman did say that you can just buy like calligrapher's ink and stuff when you run out. And here it is. A quill rest, so that when you're between quill strokes, you can just kind of rest it like that. And a journal. All the journals had the same design on it, but they had a bunch of different colors. Yeah, just fairly basic, like little day journal, bookmark in it. So yeah, for $30, and you know, it looks pretty nice. The reason it was already unsnapped is because that snap there is super tight. It does a very good job of holding things shut. So that's why I left it unsnapped, so I wouldn't have to sit there and struggle with it on camera, or start struggling with it and then have to put in an edit. But we'll snap it now because we're done looking at it. Oh, it doesn't want it. It snaps. It's tight too. There we go. We'll just put that back there. Next, look at another one of my day 2 purchases. Again, it's another vendor we buy from pretty frequently, and this one is Fused Fiction out of Nevada. We got a number of Nevada vendors there. I guess we're just like the perfect distance in the Sacramento area from Nevada for them to come out and sell their wares. And Fused Fiction has become kind of a regular at both the normal SacAnimes and the spring ones. We've bought stuff from them at both. And this time I picked up something that's actually anime. This Cowboy Bebop lineup glass panel. Now, the idea, and I don't know if it'll work because there's a lot of light in here. The idea is that you put a candle behind it and see if I can kill some lights. And if I move over here, you can kind of see it. Let's move it over here. So not the brightest candle to put behind it in the world, but you can kind of get the idea here. You put a candle behind it, and then you can kind of add a little mood lighting, and you can see your favorite Cowboy Bebop characters, assuming your favorite characters are one of the main cast. If you prefer Vicious, then I guess you're not seeing your favorite character. Yeah, it's a nice piece. I think it was really well done. Let me get some lights back on. That's better. So, yeah, I think it's really well done. The cutouts are nice, and you can recognize them as Jet, Spike, Faye, Ed, and Lassie. And yes, I know, that was a joke. Yeah, they had chopstick rests this time, which I don't think they've had before. I think she said in the past the incense rests, which we bought one of those before. We had a no-face one. I think we bought at Spring last year, maybe the year before. People thought those were chopstick rests, so she started making chopsticks, like little chopsticks. Kind of just put the chopsticks on, and then you have like the little dish to put your soy sauce or your wasabi or your ginger on or whatever. And they're very cute, but yeah, I decided to go with this. I thought this was nice. And, you know, to get something actually anime related at the anime festival, which is somewhat of a rarity for me. And by way of further illustrating that, let's look at our next item. Also a day 2 purchase, which were from Planet Toys. This is another booth that's there every time. Summer, winter, spring. They're always there. The booth usually has those big bins of polybagged classic toys. And I've looked at their pins before. I don't know if I've ever put them in video, but I've looked at their pins before. Never bought any, but this time they had a bunch of Doctor Who pins, just in time for the new season of Doctor Who. And I went with a couple pair of those. They were 10 each. I think he said they were 5 for 50, but I didn't want to get 5. They had this kind of I'm going to say more current Doctor Who logo. Not the current one, obviously. The current one actually is a retro one. But they had this, and they had this, and they had it in I think it was gray or blue. I think it was a blue. I think it was like a light blue that almost looked, no, it was like a dark blue. And I thought the white popped better. It was just a little more visible. They're double pin backed. RoboToyFest.com. They had some things, yeah, some of these are from like some other convention that they go to. But I guess they just, you know, sell the leftovers because people might be interested. A lot of Power Ranger stuff. So we got this logo, and then the like more of my childhood logo, but also the one that they're using in the current series, which episode 2 is already out. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I think a lot of people are going to hate it. A lot of people are going to complain about it, but I think as long as Got was the Doctor, I think a lot of people are going to complain no matter what. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little weird. Probably not going to be one of the better episodes this season, or one of the best episodes this season, but it was certainly enjoyable. I got the Doctor logo. I guess it's kind of like when I grew up, I think like the Tom Baker era, we used a lot of that logo. They had a couple Skittle Daleks. They had a Davros pin. They had an Adipose pin, which was really cute and was tempting. They had some TARDIS pins. They had some Doctor Who stuff too. They had like a Tenant Doctor and the TARDIS on. I think it was one of these. I think it was a plate. Because I bought I think last time we bought a no-face plate. It's like that, but it had like the outline of the Tenant Doctor and the TARDIS, and they had some TARDIS ones, and they have a lot of neat stuff. Not a tempting one, honestly. Tempting. They had a plate that was, you know, we have the combination of Deadpool and Wolverine for Deadpool and Wolverine. They had that, but they also had one in kind of recognition of the season of Daredevil Reborn that just ended, which was a combination of Daredevil's horns on a Punisher skull, which was tempting. But yeah, I went with Bebop. And then finally, it's not like the last thing, but it's a whole bag of things, and that's this. This is mostly going to be the Kobold's Keep stuff. It was like our first stop on the first day, and I did drop like literally half the money I had for that day at their booth because, well, I don't recall them ever being at Spring before. Or if they were, I didn't realize it was them. But they apparently I'm not the only one that likes the dice blind bags, because she made a point of mentioning, I heard her mentioning it to other people as well, that they brought a lot of dice mystery bags with them. So I guess Sacramento likes its dice mystery bags. I certainly do. So let's look through what we got. Of course, we can't really go to a SacAnime and not get something from Lorcana. They had a playmat of the Big Hero 6 characters. Yeah, it does show all of them on it. And we didn't have this one, so now we do have this one. It was $30. And before I realized it was them, I was looking at the prices on things. Like they had the boxes of boosters for 135 and stuff. And we're debating like, is that cheaper than Shop Disney? And it's not. It's the same price. And like, it's a rarity for a SacAnime vendor to have like basically no markup for other than normal retail on their Lorcana items. But that's when I realized, if I can find it, that's when I realized who they were, because I saw these sitting on the table, the Kobold's Keep logo as a patch. Now, last time I did buy the Kobold's Keep logo as a pin. That was back at the Winter show. This time I got their logo as a patch. They were brand new. They said like one of their customers had made these for them. Yeah, it was 15 bucks, which might be a little steep for a patch, but I mean, it is something that is a rarity. Kobold's Keep, I believe, is a store in Sparks, Nevada. If I ever make it up there, I'll have to go check the actual store out. But yeah, so the patch, and that's why I was like, oh, it's Kobold's Keep. That's why the prices are not massively inflated, because they I think just charge what they normally charge in their stores. Moving on to Kobold's Keep, of course, I bought a dice blind bag from Gatekeeper. This is one of the ones usually this or Foam Brains. I actually had stuff from this and Foam Brain, but I do like the Gatekeeper ones. So I picked up an 11 dice set for them for $19. And if you watched last week's Easter blind basket, or indeed last SacAnime, I think it was, might have been last summer, but I think it was winter. I picked up a Dungeons & Dragons Asurarak's treasure bag, which comes with a set of dice, a dice bag, and a coin. And we did one of those last week or what will be last week when you see this in the Easter blind basket. Well, they have new ones, because I did look to see if they had any more Asurarak's treasures, because I really like that. They're expensive, but I like it. And they didn't, but what they had is a whole box of a new one, Xanathar's treasure from Waterdeep. D&D Xanathar's treasure packs. Again, one dice set, one ability coin, and one D&D dice bag. So we're going to open those up. It's very puffy. There's a lot of air in there. Some Waterdeep air. Hopefully it's not Waterdeep water. And I think it's everything we got from them. So yeah, I mean, that was literally about like half the money I brought with me, because I think that was another 20. Yeah, it was $19.99, $18.99, $14.99, and 30 bucks for that. Which is, again, that's the normal price. And of course, we can't go to a convention without buying some arts. We did buy some arts. We went to a booth, I don't remember the name of it. Oh, I don't even remember the name of it. It's on the back of the cards. Went to Fictional Travel Destinations. Pixel Empire, the Pixel Empire, there we go. They always have these really cool, like, travel posters for places that don't exist, like Hogsmeade and Hyrule and the Shire. And so we picked up some postcards from places you can't visit. And they are actually like proper postcards. Address, the stamp place, like old-fashioned posters. You don't get postcards anymore, do you? I remember those used to be a big thing when I was a kid. Not so much anymore, I guess, because you can just text people pictures. But yeah, I picked up, they were $10 each, so it's a little steep. But they were buy 3, get a 4th free, so we got 4. I picked out 2, my wife picked out 2. We got Visit Vice City. It's honestly not the location I like. They had a New Vegas one, but I just didn't like that. I didn't think it didn't look good enough to me. So we have Visit Vice City was one of mine. And my other one was Visit Rapture. I thought that looked really nice. They had like a big poster version of this too. All good things flow into this city. Not that I'd want to like go to Rapture as it's represented in the game even before things went sideways, but it is really, really beautiful. I think that's something that still holds up. You play that game, it's like 15 years old now. That game still visually holds up. My wife went a little more Star Warsy, picked up Tatooine, New Republic Travel Bureau, and Endor. So yeah, those are our arts for this time. Gotta support some, I don't know how local they are. They're another one that's like always at SacAnime. I don't know how local they are, but I think they are. And I don't usually shoot too much video. They're not in the Artist Alley area, but I don't tend to shoot much video of their booth just because I do think this is original art, not like stuff they're buying online. I think there's only one more thing before we get into the dice bags, and that is a dice bag. It's another booth that I'm not used to seeing at SacAnime Spring, and that is Terran Empire Publishing. I bought another one of their 5 sets of dice blind bags. So we do have 7 sets of dice to look at here, in the hopes that maybe this time we'll get a metal one. Last time I thought I'd gotten a metal one. I had that copper one in there, but it was actually just copper. It wasn't actually metal. It was just like copper coated, which still looked really nice. And it was actually one of their sets of dice that I used back in the soup march to pick my soup for the day. Was one of the ones I got out of the last Terran Empire. I'm combining words. Terran Empire Publishing dice blind bag. And they are, of course, at terranempirepublishing.com. They do predominantly role-playing game stuff. They do some 3D printing stuff. And they do dice, which, you know, that's kind of my thing. Despite the fact that I don't play any tabletop games that I use them for, I do love myself some dice. So let's start opening dice. I'm going to open up our Gatekeeper games. I like the Gatekeeper ones. I like the package is resealable. It's got like a zip top on it. And they come with a card telling you what they are. That's one thing I didn't care so much about the Ursurarax treasure one, which is that you had to like scan the the QR code, and go to the site where you can buy them, or you could have bought them. They were sold out when I did the Easter blind basket, and see what you got. See, so I'm spoiling it for you, even though that video came out a week ago before this one. Yes, I recorded the Easter blind basket before SacAnime because I didn't want to have to like edit that after going to SacAnime. So our mystery dice from Gatekeeper is an interesting set. Kind of phlegmy orange. Where's one like there? I think really shows off on that one. I think mixed with purple. 2024 origin. So these are, I guess, last year's dice. I got old dice. So is that one's supposed to be like the 6, I guess? Yeah, I guess that is roll that to 6. So are they? So look at this, basically like 2 sets of dice here. Maybe, but not quite. I guess it depends what you're playing. So we have 4 D6s. This would be our D20. This is also a D20? Yeah, this is also so we have 2 D20s. Again, it just depends on what you're playing, how many dice you need. So at least now you have a matching set of D4s, D6s. We only have the 1 D4. They're nice. Do we have the little card that says what they are? We do not. Was it Foam Brain that did that? Oh, I thought it was Gatekeeper that had the little card in there that said what they were. I wonder if that code means anything. So I don't know what to call these. I guess maybe Origins. Maybe that's the. It's supposed like the Big Bang, like kind of. It does sort of have a like spacey feel to it, doesn't it? I mean, kind of Origins of the universe. Maybe that's what that Origins means. That this is the 2024 Origins set. It's got some glitter in there. They're very nice. They feel good. They look good. I'm happy to have them. All right, next we're gonna save Xanathar here for the last, just because that's got the dice bag and it's fancy. Let's look at the Terran Empire Publishing bag next. And my nails look horrible, don't they? That's not good. I mean, not like I particularly keep at them, but. So we do have a 1 in 5 chance of getting a metal set, a 1 in 10 chance of getting a bonus chunk D20. So do we get anything extra this time? We got stickers. I can see the stickers in there. And we got another blood spattered set. That's nice. I don't know if I like it as much as the one I already had. We do have a Dungeon Master decal. That's pretty cool. Love the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And just a dragon, because why not? Let's separate out our dice here. These blue ones are, I think, very visually stunning. So it looks like no metal, no chunk. That's unfortunate. Maybe next time. There's always, well, there's hopefully going to be summer. I got tickets for it, so hopefully it'll be there. Got these kind of have like a, I don't know, makes like a kind of like blue willow. Got something else kind of in the sort of phlegmy direction here. Got, oh, you go over there. Got these lovely green ones. So I don't think there's anything duplicate, at least. So we have 5 full sets of dice here. I think the ivory with the blood spatters, because like last time my favorite I think out of it was the gray, well, it must be my favorite because I used it in the Soup March, was like a darker gray with these kind of blood spatter look to it. And I think this kind of ivory with the blood spatter look to it is my favorite out of this one. The greens are nice, but I think I have sets similar to this, not necessarily from Terran, but just similar to it. These ones I think look pretty unique. Again, kind of make you think of like Blue Willow. That's a nice set. This came out, I think, really well. This light blue one is it certainly pops. It stands out. And then we have like kind of the flummy orange one, which is probably the least visually appealing of these 5. But I think probably if I had to like rate a least favorite, it probably would be the green ones, just because again, I think I have a set very similar to that. Not, I think probably from Gatekeeper or Foam Brain. So it's not like it's a duplicate, something I got from Terran before, because I've only had one of their blind bags before, so I shouldn't be getting duplicates from them just yet. But we'll probably hit them up again on summer. They had a lot of blind bags too. I think they had more for this show than they had at Winter. Which, who knows, maybe that's just because they've had time to stock up more. Maybe they sold out more at Christmas time. I don't know. But I feel like they had more of these. They had less of the black bags, though. The ones that come with like a single set and a figurine. I think they had less of those, but they had a lot of the gold bags. All right. Finish off with Xanathar's Treasure. I just really like these. I love the bag and the coin with it. But although, I mean, the Easter one was not my favorite. I didn't particularly care for the color. Yeah, it was, I think it was like, was it some sort of egg was the type of dice it was. All right, let's check out. Okay, so they have a different logo on the bag. We have, I guess that's supposed to be Xanathar. That's a beholder, right? It doesn't look right though. Anyways, so we don't have the big Dungeons & Dragons logo, which I do honestly, I think I liked that better. I liked the big ampersand there instead, but this does separate it as being a different series, so that's fine. I do like the color better than that kind of bright fuchsia one I got in the blind basket. Kind of a rich, like Merlot kind of a color going here. Again, still very nicely put together, very nicely stitched. It feels luxury. Let's see, what do we get inside here? Our coin is Resurrection. It's a nice coin. Got a little fish on the side there. Get that where the light catches it without glaring off of it. 1,000 gold. It's an expensive coin. And finally, our last set of dice, which is, ooh, those are interesting. And there's no QR code this time that tells you to go to see what you got. So I don't know what they are, but they are, let's see if we can get them out of the bag. Kind of a ghostly look to these ones. Let's shine some light into them. Well, maybe a little too much light, but can we turn that down? I think those, if you were playing like on a lit surface, like if you were playing at 10 forward, I think those would be like the dice to choose, because they do have like I don't know how well it shows up on the camera for you, but they do kind of have like a nice ghostly glow when lit from below. Those are nice. And honestly, I mean, kind of indistinguishable from the rest of the dice here. I mean, the font is different, but that's kind of, it's actually fairly similar to the font on this one, isn't it? So yeah, that's it. That's SacAnime Spring 2025 or SacAnime Roseville 2025, whatever you want to call it. And that is our haul. We got some, oh, I think my candle went out. We got some local arts in our cards and our Cowboy Bebop candle glass and the sign. Those technically, those are all arts. Got some pins. We got lots of dice. I think this is the most dice I've ever done in a video before. It's 7, maybe not, because there were 5 sets of dice in the winter show. So, and I think I did Nasirarak's Treasure then as well. I guess maybe it was last summer. Maybe I did like a foam brain. I did dice. I did dice in January. So yeah, that's where we are for SacAnime Roseville 2025. It was fun. Maybe not as great as some past years, but that could be related to a lot of things. I could just be tired and burnt out and was therefore just not in the right mindset to really enjoy it. I do think legitimately the fact that there aren't any fan panels is a big minus to me. There's spaces they could do them, like the garden room. I think I mentioned in the video, the garden room, the first year they did SacAnime there with panels, they did use that as the panel room because that was before the big Roboblin Center was built. So they had to use the two older buildings for vendors halls. And yeah, they did panels, obviously much smaller ones, in the garden room, and I feel like you could do a fan panel in there. You could do a viewing room in there. I don't know. And I know that that space gets used because at the Mandarin Festival last year, they were doing that as the cooking demo room. So I know the room can be used. I don't know if SacAnime paid to use it, but I mean, the room does actually have use. But I think if there had been more stuff to do, if there had been more panels, if there had been a fan panel room with something like 5th Gen not Pokemon, I'm sure they wouldn't come out to Roseville for that, but something like that, something, the history of Tamagotchis. It doesn't have to be anything like super, super like out there. It could just be something that someone's passionate about it and is hopefully not just people like screaming and shipping Dipper and Maple Pines. But that really is the big thing to me that was missing, is it's just the one panel room. So there isn't even like, you can't have like people from a different show who overlap with other things doing their own panel in main events instead of featured events. And the day 2 panels were just all things I weren't interested in. It was Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, Demon Slayer. None of these are things that I watch. And so, yeah, we called it quits early on day 2. That's why there's no food part for day 2, is we figured for the same price we could go like somewhere else and get a bigger meal, not out of the side of a truck. Although again, those quality food this time. Bubble Hive and Hefty Gyro are both really good. The coffee was nice. We liked Tribu, I think was what it was called. Tribu Cafe del Sur. Enjoyed them. Would definitely go to them if I saw them at another event. But yeah, just the event just didn't hit right for me this year, and that's fine. I'm still going to go. Still going to go to summer. I've already got my tickets. Still go to winter. Still go to spring next year, and see how things are then. See how I am then. Assuming, again, always assuming there is a next year. So with that, though, we'll wrap this up. I think we spent like 30 minutes opening dice here. Probably as long as the entire rest of the video. So we'll wrap it up. Did you go to SacAnime Spring, SacAnime Roseville 2025? What did you think of it? Did you have a good time? Did you see yourself in the video? Let me know in the comments. And which set of dice is your favorite? I think I do really like these like ghostly ones here that aren't actually on camera. I do like this, but I do think I'm going to go with Blood Spatter. I'm going to go with Blood Spatter from Terran Empire Publishing over my ghostly D&D ones. But what do you think? What is your favorite set of dice? We have 7 here. Which one do you like best? Let me know in the comments. But I thank you for watching. I hope you found it all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.